There's this movement on the right that claims to be for law and order. They say investigate, let law enforcement do its thing, back the blue. Law enforcement is good. Allow them. Don't obstruct them. Don't tamper with witnesses. Rand Paul, the Republican senator from Kentucky, upon learning that Donald Trump is under investigation for possible violations of the Espionage Act, says, oh, well, we got to get rid of that Espionage Act. That's the problem is the law. Rand Paul calls for repeal of Espionage Act amid DOJ investigation into Trump taking classified documents to Mar-a-Lago. Look at this tweet from Rand Paul. Quote, the Espionage Act was abused from the beginning to jail dissenters of World War I. It is long past time to repeal this egregious affront to the First Amendment. Repeal the Espionage Act, the Future of Freedom Foundation. If this has been a problem, Rand, since World War I, you've had a long time, like 100 years, during which you could have lobbied for its repeal. And it just so happens that he only comes out and talks about it publicly days after we learn, hours, in fact, after we learn that one of the possible crimes that Trump committed is a violation of that very Espionage Act. Rand Paul could have been, I don't know how old he is. He's got to be about 50 something. Rand Paul could have been talking about the Espionage Act for a very long time. During his time as senator, when did he become elected? When was Rand Paul elected senator? 2010? No, 2016? Anyway, I'm not sure. Sometime in the 2010s. Rand Paul, for over a decade, could have been saying, we must get rid of this Espionage Act. But it's within hours of the leaked document indicating Trump is being suspected of violating the Espionage Act that he comes out against it. Now, it's not always the case that Rand Paul was so soft on crime. Republicans claim that they are very tough on crime, and they say we have laws and we must abide by the laws. That's what it is. And sometimes we on the left say, well, some laws are unjust. Some laws are unfair. And they say, no, no, no. You must abide by the law. He wasn't always soft on crime. Here's Rand Paul in 2017 with a very different perspective when it comes to intelligence and documents and leaks. Listen to this.
Susan Rice unmasks anybody, we should have a record of it. But it goes beyond even the top echelon. We had an NSA security analyst, a low-level analyst, recently caught revealing documents. And we just can't have everybody in the intelligence community. They have such power to suck up every bit of every transmission, every communication we ever made. We can't just have them willy-nilly releasing that to the public. So General Flynn's conversation was released. That may not have been up at Susan Rice. She may have unmasked them, but it may well have been analysts down lower. All of them have to be found, and I guarantee there's a paper or a computer trail of who released these documents and who released these conversations.
Wow. He used to say that if you're handling, publicizing, releasing, leaking, moving any irresponsible actions with classified documents, the individuals doing that have to be held accountable, and every single one of them should be found. Now it's Trump and he says, repeal the Espionage Act. These people are pathetic. And you know the theme. There's no principles. It's what's convenient at the time. Then the subject matter was not convenient. So Rand Paul said, find the leakers, prosecute the leakers, everybody being irresponsible with these documents. Anybody who moved a document to a place it wasn't supposed to be, get all of them. Now it's his buddy Trump who's doing it. And it's no longer convenient. And so now it's repeal the law under which he would potentially be charged. These people are pathetic.